I know you like.
Dude Walker, commercial-free on your Q.
Dave Thompson looking ahead with you to 3 commercial-free hours every day on the Q.
Q107. Well, today we spray. All right. Thank you, Angela.
Truer words, Angela.
The Jack Diamond Morning Show in Washington, D.C. on Mix 107.3. If you're by your computer, Facebook.com/Jack Diamond Show. We've got a live Facebook Live video rolling with our memories and remembrances of, sadly, some have passed since this radio station went on the air 40 years ago as Q107. It morphed from WMAL-FM to MAL-FM to Q107 for 10 years. And then for the past 30, we have been Mix 107.3. Sadly, today, another company takes over, and they're taking over our transmitter and our tower to pipe in some satellite programming from Sacramento, California. So business decision wasn't a failure of anything, in fact. Our ratings have never been better, thank God. And thank to you for listening. We really appreciate that. And revenue-wise, we're profitable. So, in the business world, that's not always enough. Somebody may have, a use for the building, and they decide to turn it, from a restaurant to a retail location. So no more lobster rolls after 6 o'clock tonight.
No.
It was fun catching up with Barbara Britt, who was my first co-host here on Mix 107.3, along with Mike Moore. And then Rick Fowler, who was the music director during many great years at Q107, worked with Alan Burns, a wonderful program director. We talked to Uncle Johnny, who is the night personality, and Rick Fowler showed us one of those Q107 music surveys, and the morning show there, Dude Walker and Doug Limerick, two of the absolute best in the business. Now, how could a little radio show like ours pull Dude Walker and Doug Limerick back together in the studio? Who could? We could! They're here!
First time in 40 years.
Oh, my God. And they still only have one microphone for him.
We only have one microphone. It was a cheap
You
operation.
only had one microphone.
I had to run around.
We took turns, and it was fun.
Unreal.
Yeah.
It was just great.
Hi, Jack. Nice to see you.
It's good to see you. This is Dude Walker, and this is Doug Limerick.
I'm Doug Limerick.
ABC
Jack,
News.
do you mind, Doug? Do you mind?
Yes.
This is just for Jack and myself.
Yes.
Get real close to that microphone, and give us the ABC.
From ABC News, I'm Doug Limerick.
Yeah.
All right.
I did that 220,000 times.
Did you really?
220,000 news.
Would you do one from ABC for the Jack Diamond Morning Show? I'm Doug Limerick.
For the Jack Diamond Morning Show, I'm Doug Limerick.
Thank you. I can't, that to me is about as exciting as it is.
Well, we want to thank you so much for inviting us in here. First of all, thank you for keeping the seat warm for 40 years.
My honor.
Because we're back.
Yeah. They'll start Monday morning, 6 a.m. here.
Exactly.
Yeah. The hymns and prayers start at 10 after the hour.
We do
I'm good at
appreciate it.
hymns.
But seriously, I want to talk to your audience now, if I may.
Yes.
Hello, audience. Remember us. This is the kind of person that Jack has become, your leader has become, this humble, nice guy.
Thank you.
He did not have to invite people back for this show. It's the end of his era as well. And to invite us back shows the magnanimous kind of person you've become.
That's
and
very
I
kind.
really appreciate that. I think your audience, they know you, but I've come to know you over the last couple of weeks. I've been a bigger fan than ever. And you're a hell of a guy.
Thank you.
And DC is going to miss you.
I appreciate that, dude, more than you know. And, you guys managed during a different time, a crazy time in this business, to also transcend the medium, be warm, be engaging, be genuine and authentic.
Controversial.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then, but that makes it more fun. I mean, you have to, and you've never been afraid to break some eggs.
Right, that's for sure.
We had a wonderful time in the late, it was April 15th, 1979, the actual air,
right,
when we hit. And I think Joe Cipriano kicked off the format.
Joe, in fact, you know what? I have a little something from Joe Cipriano.
Oh, good.
Do you have that?
I will try to find it.
Okay.
He's big stuff now.
If you don't, I know.
So Joe Cipriano, who is, you'll find out, has gone on to even bigger and better things. He kicked off the format, and it was late disco, early God, what do you call the early 80s for music?
That's a good. It was that sort of amalgamation
it was
of rock and
Supertramp
disco.
and Styx.
You remember
Right.
the first record, the first song?
I think it was Heart of Glass, wasn't it?
No, it was Hot Stuff, the Donna Summer.
Oh,
okay. All right.
gosh, good
well,
memory.
That was that era.
Stuff, yeah.
You know, late disco and early album rock, anthem rock, that
Right,
sort of thing. So we were going through that transition too, as DJs and news people and all that. Doug initially was just I shouldn't say just a newsman.
that's right.
He was a news person.
Right.
And but we got along so well that I said I need something to bounce it off of. It's one thing to do your show, but you kind of need, as you know, you need
Yes.
people.
Well, you need people to relate to because, you know, and the wonderful thing about having a board op or a board tech, somebody across the board from you, is you could see on their face how things were playing and in their eyes.
Yeah.
Without that, it's very disembodied.
So Doug and I found out, he's from North Carolina, I'm from Connecticut. We have very different backgrounds, but we had a love for radio. We found out we could make each other laugh. And so we're in a little FM booth, and there's not much going on. And if I can make him laugh and he makes me laugh, maybe the audience will think we're funny. It's almost like a soundtrack.
Well, they did.
A soundtrack to a bad show. You go,
I do
well.
stuff like I'm going to do the news backwards.
Yeah. And then he turned around.
He'd
and do
turn
the news
around
backwards.
and do it
But
back.
well, it was shtick, but it worked out pretty well. It was 79.
Well, people love that companionship. They like to laugh. They like to feel they're amongst, I don't know, nice people. And you guys came off both as really nice. You know, being a little sarcastic and sardonic without being mean.
Yeah.
There's a real fine line to all of
we
this.
tried to do
They
that.
can tell when you like each other, too.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, that worked out well. So, unfortunately, we had to leave this building under not the best of circumstances, but the best part of it is we've been friends for all these years.
That's wonderful to
Doug
hear.
and I have been to each other's weddings, and I say weddings because
My wife's listening.
It's been-
Sorry, honey, 34 years. Glory.
Happens to the best
final
of us,
one, Doug.
guys.
I'm not going to another one. And my wife Patrice and I have been together for over 30 years now. So, and our families have gotten together for things.
No,
and,
that's great. Give us a memory, Doug. You know, of the show, of an event, of a moment that you spent here on Q107 when you guys were a team.
We
Please.
loved going out. We did a lot of remotes.
Right.
The Montgomery County Fair was always one of our. I was in with the cows.
Still do it.
live in the cow barn.
Chickens.
And we hold the microphone up to where you don't want to hold the microphone up to. And
We did a lot of stuff.
realistic
I'd say.
sound effects happening at that point.
I don't look to a waterfall, you know, and say that's the elephant going. Keeps going. It
Yeah.
just keeps on going.
We play the sound effect of a waterfall and then the elephant. But we were kids though. We were young. We didn't care.
And they gave away. You were talking earlier about the ABC money.
Right.
The promotion money.
Oh,
We
incredible.
gave away houses.
Incredible.
We gave away trips anywhere in the world.
Rick Fowler, who was here earlier, who was the music director, he held up a flyer that literally showed the house that Q107 gave away. Back in those days, you know, we'll still do anything to win your listenership. It means the world to us. So whatever.
We're not above bribing.
Listen, I don't need the voice of reason right now, for God's sake. Trying to paint a picture here.
Yeah.
I wish it were those old days, Blair, because we did. We gave away. Do you know, as Mix 107.3, we gave away 30 Mercedes.
Oh my God!
And each of them had up to $25,000 stuffed in the glove box.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And still only one microphone. Here.
Yeah. So, you know, what you do go through to earn an audience. And, you know, hopefully it's more than just the prizes. But the prizes certainly have been fun for all of us to share. And, I mean, who gives away a house? In your life, Monty Hall and Let's Make a Deal. I mean, you can think of a very small handful of people that have ever handed somebody the keys to something that changed their
And
life.
speaking of promotions, Chris Delisle, the Remarkable Mouth campaign. Those are the most incredible radio commercials probably ever.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Folks may not remember now, but in 1980, I think it was 81, ABC bought a wonderful package of commercials called The Remarkable Mouth. And Chris Delisle, beautiful actress, stood there on camera, and the voice that came out of her mouth, this remarkable mouth, was ours. And Joe Cipriano and Uncle Johnny, and so all those strange little things happened. That commercial ran every single half hour on every station forever.
We have the audio, but it doesn't mean much without the video. Can we post that? Did you get permission to post that?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, great. All right. So it's already in the clear.
You get a chance to see
We'll
it.
post the link to that. And you guys can check it out.
So our influence is unavoidable at that point, and of course we had to carry through with a good show, and
Yeah.
I'd like to think that we did, and it worked out pretty
Now
well.
you do voice work and imaging, and have since you left, I guess.
Pretty much so. There's a guy up in New York. Well, actually, I don't know where he lives now. Steve Kingston, and you know Steve.
Of course, he lives in Jersey and owns a
he's
station in
around.
Annapolis.
Steve Kingston was at WPGC,
Right.
and then he went to B104 in Baltimore. That's where I met him. And he said, you do some voice work for the station. So I was, B104, that kind of stuff.
Right.
His friend in Chicago heard me at WLS, and I was all over the country, and that's how
your
it all
voiceover
began.
career started.
So being a DJ didn't seem to be. I said, I could do 1 hour in the booth and then.
And not do 4 or 5 hours here and then 4 or 5 hours prepping.
Exactly, and I don't have to move every 6 months. I think I'll do this. So it's worked out pretty well.
Tell us about the ABC days, because I think the majority of the country and world, if you know Doug Limerick, it may or may not be from Q107, but it's certainly from ABC News.
Yeah, we were in about 1,000 radio stations. And when I subbed for Paul Harvey for 8 years...
Subbed for Paul Harvey. Did you hear that? For Paul Harvey.
He had 2,200 affiliates.
Yep.
And I really loved doing that, too. I absolutely loved subbing for Paul. He's been gone about 10 years.
Yeah,
I guess,
amazing man.
He was incredible. Only one Paul Harvey, it really was. Yeah. But I did, as I said...
What's the rest of the story, then?
Well, the rest of the story... There you have the rest of the story.
Stand by
You
for
weren't allowed to
news.
use that
I
phrase,
was
were you?
not.
Yeah,
No, that was
yeah,
his son.
yeah.
His son was in charge of that, Paul Jr.
Right.
But I did all those newscasts right downtown, and talking about getting up, I got up at 10 till 3, 34 years.
Amazing.
Every morning was downtown by 4, about 10 till 4.
Has anybody ever done the math on how many people you spoke with or talked to or heard you over the years?
I don't know. I've talked to.
I mean, tens of millions.
Well,
that was the
presidents.
Yeah, that was the reason ABC was able to say more people get their news from ABC
That's
than
true.
anywhere
That's
else.
true.
Was because of
Yes.
ABC Radio.
Right.
Okay.
You and I had something else in common. I did the weather back when we were together. I did the weather, weekend weather, Channel 7, and you did the weather in San Diego. Didn't you?
I did San Diego weather. I'll tell you, the easiest gig I ever had, guys.
Yeah.
Believe me. And, they would always cut your time in San Diego because the sports guy would always run long on a television newscast. So literally, they would say, here's Jack Diamond with the weather. And it'd say, sunny and 72 in San Diego and all of Southern California. Back to you, Bob.
Easy money, though.
And then
Easy
occasionally something would go wrong, and they'd go stretch. I go, stretch.
Okay.
72 on Saturday. Sunday, 73. Monday, 71. I always had video. You always have video.
Right.
You always have a package to throw to. Or obviously, you're able to wrap it up quickly because television. You know what I didn't like about TV? It was so dictatorial. This way, you ad-lib, you have fun, you throw
Exactly.
listeners on the air. Television, it's...
When you're standing there, weather was all ad lib.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
learn that in radio.
Yeah.
These
That's
guys,
right.
When
Yeah.
the teleprompter sticks,
they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
the sweat starts pouring off. It's a terrible thing.
These are two of the best in the business. I will tell you, it is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to share this studio again with these two guys, Dude Walker, Doug Limerick, from the Q107 days here on the Jack Diamond Morning Show. God bless you guys and thank you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Wonderful.
Means the world to us.
Good luck to you, Jack.
This is Mix 107.3 WRQX, Washington.